Hello and welcome back to Artemisse Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me for today's reading all about the blessings that are meant to come for you. In particular, we will be looking into 3 realms, including love and romance, abundance and wealth, and also growth and shadow work. This is another topic suggested by one of you in the comments, so I hope you will be able to find some insight, encouragement, and messages that you need to hear in this reading. Also, I want to mention that we have surpassed 1,000 subscribers on this channel. In response, I decided to level up my audio quality, and I've been learning how to produce and edit better sound. So thank you for being so patient with me. Please let me know what you think about the sound. And as always, thank you all so much for your love, your support, and your positive energy. Thank you for leaving such sweet and kind comments, and also for liking these videos. It really does help this channel continue to grow. Now then, without further ado, there are 5 readings for you to choose from today, and to help you pick, I have these beautiful stained glass tiles. Group 1 has vibrant shades of fiery red, so this will be called the sunset glass. Group 2 is a warm golden honey with swirls of orange, so I'll call this the amber glass. Group 3 has a mix of yellows and soft greens, so this will be called the green tea glass. Group 4 has a beautiful blend of fresh aquas and blues, so I'll be calling this one the ocean glass. And Group 5 is a fusion from indigo to violet to ruby, so this one will be called the galaxy glass. Please take your time to pick the reading that's calling out to you the most. Definitely feel free to choose more than one if you are inspired to do so, and you are most welcome to claim all the blessings that resonate for you. Please pause the video if you would like. Once you've decided, you can find your timestamp down below, and I will meet you at your reading. This reading is for those of you who have chosen the sunset glass. Thank you for joining me and welcome to your reading all about the blessings that are meant for you, waiting for you, and coming to you. We will start by getting an idea of the strongest blessings or themes that are coming through for you. Then we'll look at 3 specific areas of love and romance, abundance and wealth, and also inner growth and shadow work to find out what blessings are waiting for you in each area. Along the way, I will also interpret any timing clues that might give us an idea of when these blessings may be manifesting or when they'll be making significant progress. Let's first begin with these beautiful astrology oracle cards, which will give us a peek into some overarching themes or some of the strongest blessings that are meant to be yours. You have House 7, with profound relationships, intimacy, and romantic partnerships. And also Taurus, with trust, patience, and sensuality. And there's as well House 12, with spirituality, transcendence, karma, sacrificial service, and healing. Wow, you guys are starting off with such amazing and powerful energy and messages. First and foremost, it is clear that there is an extremely heavy influence of love energy in these cards because the 7th house about relationships, romantic partnerships, and intimacy, as well as Taurus, which is ruled by Venus, the planet of love and beauty, it is undeniable that love blessings are particularly important in the blessings that are meant for you. As well, paired with the 12th house, which is all about a deeper and spiritual bond, healing, and internal reflection and evolution, personal growth will be another significant area for your blessings. Now, if we take a look at all these cards together, for many of you, this can mean that you are blessed to have a partner with whom you feel so incredibly connected, both on a physical and sensual level, as well as on a higher transcendent level. Perhaps your blessing will involve making significant progress on your love journey towards your soulmate. For those of you who are single, you could be meeting that special someone you have been dreaming of. It will be a connection that is full of sensuality and chemistry, but also filled with spiritual connection and healing. For most of you, this is referring to a love connection because of the sensual energy in the Taurus card and the romantic partnerships of the 7th house. But for a few of you, though, this may also be referring to a different kind of profound relationship where you will be meeting or advancing your connection with other members of your soul family who are meant to be your ride or die inner circle. Maybe this is a best friend forever, or an important mentor, or someone who will come into your life to help you discover an important aspect of yourself and guide you to heal and evolve. Taking a closer look now at the beautiful imagery on these cards, starting with the House 7 card, I am seeing these two birds that look like they could be doves, which represent love, peace, and purity. I'm also noticing that there's what looks like a barrier of some sort between the two of them, but they have both been pecking away at the barrier from each side so that they can reach each other and meet in the middle. This makes me think of overcoming challenges or barriers, and in fact, there are mountains on this card as well. And mountains can often refer to either obstacles or something significant and monumental within your life path or identity. So considering everything on this card, it looks like you are blessed with the potential to create and uphold profound, beautiful, magical relationships, be it romantic, platonic, family, or even business relationships. Though it is likely that these wonderful, transformative relationships will be the fruit of labor, which means things may not come easily and you may be faced with some difficult obstacles, but you and your soulmate and soul family will have what it takes to break down these barriers that get in your way. And additionally, as opposed to the difficulties tearing you down, they'll actually make you more deeply appreciate these beautiful connections. For the other meaning of the mountain, which speaks of things that are very significant and steadfast and immovable in your life, this may mean that these profound relationships and intimate and romantic partnerships are an absolute part of your path, which you will not accidentally bypass. So perhaps some of you really need to hear this right now. Maybe you've been feeling hopeless about finding your person, or perhaps you've been doubting whether you deserve this kind of beautiful love or wonderful support system of family and friends. This card is affirming that yes, this blessing is yours, and like a mountain that cannot just up itself, grow legs, and run away, this blessing will not pass you by. Maybe looking out from where you are right now on your love path, the mountains are hidden behind these clouds, so you might not be able to see them yet. But rest assured that they are definitely, solidly, immovably there and waiting for you. And with the Taurus card here, right away I notice all of these roses growing out of a heart-shaped bottle. Taurus is a gentle, grounded, and stable earth energy. It represents experiencing life through the senses, as well as nurturing and appreciating and seeing the beauty in things. For many of you, this kind of energy is what you yourself are blessed with. And for others of you, this is the energy that you will be able to receive from those around you. Especially when it comes to romantic relationships, Perhaps you or your soulmate may be this kind of patient, trusting, and caring lover or nurturer. And of course, since Taurus also embodies enjoying the senses and savoring the tangible luxuries, there will definitely be a lot of sensuality and chemistry in store for your romance. And finally, with the House 12 card, I am immediately drawn to this empty cage with its door hanging open. The 12th house is one full of depth, mystery, and it represents things unseen and outside of the conscious. Traditionally, it may be interpreted as a dark, sorrowful, or challenging house, but I am getting very wonderful messages from this card instead. The 12th house is thought of as a prison in which we may lose ourselves. But as we can see from this empty cage with its door open, this card is representing the blessing of being able to break free from all the possibly dark, sad, or difficult things within your own mind and heart. So for those of you who are resonating with this message, perhaps you do have a dark or confusing inner shadow self, which tends to make you overanalyze, overthink, doubt yourself, feel insecure, or question whether you are good enough. The blessing in this card is to affirm for you that you do have the power to overcome and evolve and break free of the cage that you built around yourself. I also want to touch on the concept of karma here with the 12th house. Often people can be a bit worried or scared when they hear about karma and karmic cycles because we may tend to focus on the bad karma. In this respect, I want to emphasize that karma can be good karma as well, which means your blessing would be karmic reward for your kindness, your good deeds, the effort that you've put forward, and the love that you have given. I really like these messages, and I'm feeling quite moved by this overwhelmingly positive and inspirational energy. It's as if these cards and blessings are trying to rekindle your hope and faith in yourself, in your love life, and in your connections with both your higher self as well as your most important people. So now that we have an idea of your strongest and most significant blessings, let's take a look in detail at what's waiting for you with respect to love and romance. I have 2 oracle cards and 2 tarot cards for you. For your oracle cards, we have Knowing Without Knowing, and also Gifts Received. And for your tarot cards, you got the 8 of Swords, and also the Knight of Cups. Ooh, all right. There is quite a lot to unpack here. First, for the Knowing Without Knowing card. This idea of knowing without knowing is simply feeling, an intuitive sensation, something that you trust in your heart, in your body, in your blood. This card makes me think of that deep, knowing connection, both with yourself and your intuition, as well as with your soulmate. For those of you still looking for your person, this card means you will be meeting your special someone with whom you can feel that magical connection before you even know or realize or comprehend it. It could also mean that you will be getting better at being able to instinctively and intuitively understand what and who is right for you and good for you, without even consciously needing to go through the motions. This means for those of you who may have been struggling with dating people who are toxic or otherwise not a right match, you will be gaining a sort of sixth sense for weeding out the bad and welcoming in the good. Knowing Without Knowing also talks about the subconscious and your higher self or even divine guidance. Perhaps you will be receiving signs or dreams to nudge you in the right direction or to act as confirmation that you are on the right path. For those of you who have already found your person, this knowing without knowing talks about being on the same wavelength with one another. It's about a deep, intimate, and even spiritual or transcendent connection with your person, like we saw earlier with your astrology cards. But regardless of whether you are still looking for your person or have already found them, with the Gifts Received card, it's clear that there are a lot of blessings waiting for you in love and romance, just waiting for you to receive them. The beautiful greenery and warm sunshine yellow on this card makes me think of the earthly and nurturing Taurus energy we saw from before, and gifts and tangible luxuries definitely fit perfectly with Taurus as well. Perhaps gifts is one of your or your person's top love languages, or it could be that there will be the giving and receiving of some meaningful gifts within your love situation. These gifts could be physical, but they can most definitely be conceptual too. For example, it may be your person gifting their self to you, or your person seeing you as the gift that they have received. For a lot of you, your blessing will be the universe bringing you your love manifestation as your gift. However, I want to point out that there is a strong message reminding you to be open to receiving. Perhaps some of you are really not so good at receiving or not used to receiving, but we must be willing to receive in order for the universe to be able to deliver our gifts. So if you have been having some trouble with your manifestations coming to you, one important blockage may be your receptivity to receiving. We have 41 on the Knowing Without Knowing card. 4 and 1 add to 5, and 5 represents the winds of change. For the Gifts Received card, there is the number 13 with digits that sum to 4. 4 represents stability, security, and protection. So with 5 and 4 together, your blessing is that things in your love life will be changing towards something solid and stable. Regardless of when you have found this reading, this could indicate that these blessings will start to manifest for you within the next 4 to 5 weeks or 4 to 5 months. 41 or 13 may also be significant times or dates for some of you, and Taurus season may be a notable period for your love blessings. This will be around April and May, depending on if you prefer tropical or sidereal astrology. Now then, for your tarot cards, it's quite interesting that the 8 of Swords came out for you. This card talks about being trapped or restricted, especially by your own inhibitions. But like we saw earlier with the mountain and the doves separated by a barrier that they have broken down, your blessing is the potential to build and experience wonderful magical love connections and the ability to overcome difficult challenges or hardships along the way. The fact that this 8 of Swords came out for you could mean that some of you may be realizing that a major part of what is keeping you from your love is yourself. On the image in this card, we see the swords and thorny vines are trapping this swan, and this reminds me of the birdcage we saw in the House 12 card. So this could be a reiteration of the message that you are the one putting yourself and your own heart in a cage. But if you are the one caging you in, you also have the potential to set you free. For a lot of you, this card also represents the blessing of releasing the restrictions and circumstances that are holding you back from the love that you want and deserve. For example, you may be letting go of a fear of opening your heart, and doing so will allow you to finally welcome in the love offers waiting on you. Another example in a more physical manifestation, if you are in a long-distance relationship, for instance, perhaps you will be finding the courage or breaking free from what's keeping you from going to your person or they might be coming to you. Regardless of what it is that you need to release with this Eight of Swords, there is the Knight of Cups waiting for you, which is a stable, warm, honest, and adoring energy. This is a new, true love offer for those who are single, or a renewal of love offering and coming toward each other the right way for those who have found their person. The Knight of Cups is my favorite knight, especially when it comes to love readings, literally a knight in shining armor. So I'm very excited for what is in store for you in love and romance. Next, we shall take a look at the blessings meant for you in the area of abundance and wealth. This can refer to monetary and financial abundance for sure, but it can also be about opportunities, resources, knowledge, or energy. Feel free to interpret this abundance in the way that resonates for you. For this part of the reading, I have a few tea leaf cards. There is the Angel, wow, and it has the message, spiritual guidance, protection from harm. You also have the Fox with shrewdness and resourcefulness, especially in business. And finally, the bird flying with news is on the way. This is very exciting. First of all, I want to make it clear that this news that is on its way is definitely good news. For a few of you, this news could even appear negative or seem like not what you want at first, but eventually you will see that it was definitely for the better in the bigger picture. Especially since you have the Angel, which represents spiritual and divine guidance that is here to protect you from harm. It looks like you will be blessed with a lot of positive growth in abundance. Usually I like to interpret abundance in a broader sense, but since there is the Fox mentioning about resourcefulness in business, I feel that for a majority of you who picked this pile, the blessing of gains in abundance will definitely be in the financial or monetary aspect. It could be that you will be growing at your job, particularly due to your business skills and your improvement in your abilities at work. For others of you, though, this abundance could be due to your mindset in attracting what you want to manifest, because we do have this Angel card talking about spirituality and guidance. For example, you may have had a period of time during which you were feeling a state of lack, be it in finances or resources or even love, support, and inspiration. But with these cards, it looks like your blessings are bringing you out of this mindset of not having enough, and simply being away from this state of lack will welcome in the abundance meant to be yours. As for timing of these blessings, I am seeing this bird that is soaring in the sky, mentioning news that is already on the way. As well, there is the fox, and foxes are considered to be very swift. So for most of you, your blessings will be coming soon, and even for a few of you, they may have already begun to materialize. I do notice a small detail, however, that on this Angel card, there is a candle in the Angel's hand. This makes me think of a slow burn, which means just for a few of you, since this is a very small detail, maybe especially for those of you whose blessings in abundance are in the realm of growth of mindset and things that are intangible or outside of the physical realm, there could be a bit of a test of patience. In exchange, though, the duration or effects of these blessings will also enjoy the slow burn, which means they will be long-lasting. Moving on to the last part of your reading, I have 2 oracle cards which will tell us about the blessings meant for you with respect to your own inner growth and shadow work. Of course, personal growth will affect all areas of your life, so there could be some themes here that will flow over to your love life and abundance as well. We have failure with the message, I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. And also there is growth. Yes. And it says, I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. First of all, I really like that these two cards came out together. It reminds us that blessings can be obvious when they come in the form of growth, but blessings can also be in the form of failure. The idea is our mindset is what determines how we perceive what is positive or negative. For a lot of you watching, it could be that you have had a bad relationship with failure in your life. It may be that you hold yourself to extremely high standards and you don't treat yourself kindly when you fail to meet these standards. It could also be coming from those around you. For example, maybe your parents or mentors always had high expectations for you growing up, and this put a lot of pressure on you whether they meant to or not. It may even be that a few of you have not yet experienced failure in a significant way, but as a result, you feel a pressure to always maintain your success due to fear for what failure may feel like. Regardless of what your unique situation may be, this blessing comes in the form of reconciling with failure being a natural part of growth. We are allowed to make mistakes, and in fact, failure can be an even better way to grow than success. So for those of you who have a fear of failure or a bad relationship with facing failure, this blessing will be a shift in your perspective towards seeing failure as an opportunity instead. In fact, the message on the growth card is very similar in the idea that the way to growth will be through expanding your consciousness and awareness, which in other words can mean learning to see a bigger picture and shifting your mindset for the better. I do want to mention though, since there is the failure card followed by the growth card, for a few of you, you may be experiencing some sort of failure, which will be the stimulus that will accelerate your growth. I think this fits very well with the energy we saw in the House 12 card from the beginning. I know we usually don't like to hear that we might have to first go through a dark night of the soul in order to grow, but this is often the case in the soul's journey. And there's no need to be afraid or anxious about this failure, because there's actually a very calm, mature, and wise energy from these two cards coming out together, which means whatever failure coming your way is definitely something you can handle, and from the challenge will arise the blessing of meaningful personal growth. Those are all the messages I have for you today. I hope it has been helpful and brought you some positive energy and confirmations. Absolutely feel free to claim all the messages you would like, and please remember that this is a general reading, so never fear if not every single message was for you. Also, as usual, I do want to remind you that we all have the ability to shape our own destinies and paths. So please feel empowered, because if there's something that you don't like in your reading, trust that you do have the power to influence and change it. Please let me know in the comments below if things resonated for you, and please feel free to leave a like and subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one. This reading is for those of you who have chosen the Amber Glass. Thank you for joining me, and welcome to your reading all about the blessings that are meant for you, waiting for you, and coming to you. We will begin with looking at some of the strongest blessings or themes that are coming through for you. Then we will break things down a bit more and address 3 specific areas of love and romance, abundance and wealth, and also inner growth and shadow work to find out what blessings are waiting for you in each area. I will also interpret any timing clues that come up in the cards to give us an idea of when these blessings may be manifesting or making significant progress. Let us begin with these astrology oracle cards to give us a peek at some overarching themes or any major areas of focus for the blessings meant for you. There is Venus. Wow, how lovely. It says, give and receive love, find value, and see beauty. You also have House 3 with early learning, childhood relations, the rational mind, and communication. And last but not least, you have House 7 with profound relationships, intimacy, and romantic partnerships. Group 1 had the 7th house as well, so I guess a lot of you have love on the brain. In fact, now that I think about it, Group 1 had the Taurus card, and you have Venus, which is the ruler of Taurus, so there's a lot of similar energies here. If you also happen to feel drawn to Group 1, this could be a sign for you to watch that reading as well if you would like. But let's start with the Venus card here. I really love this card. It has such a gentle, pure, warm, and soft energy that reminds us to notice and appreciate and receive love and beauty. So one of the blessings meant to be yours is that of beauty. It may be in the physical sense, or it could be beauty in your heart and soul, or it could very well be both. Something about you will make others see you as beautiful. For a few of you who might feel like you are currently an ugly duckling, there is definitely a swan transformation waiting for you. And of course, with Venus here, your other blessing is that of love, especially paired with House 7 about wonderful, intimate, and romantic relationships. A significant blessing waiting for you to claim is a beautiful, amazing love connection. The kind of love that inspires poetry and art and fairy tales. The kind of love that might make you cautiously suspicious at first because it's just so incredible. In this lifetime, you are blessed to experience a love that makes you feel so valued and so cherished. You and your person will see the beauty in each other, and you will be able to both give and receive love in just the right ways and amounts that you need. There will be a lot of balance and symmetry within your relationship, and there is such beauty in symmetry. You will be each other's shell and pearl in a way that fulfills both of your desires to be the shell and the pearl. When you're feeling down, your person will be the shell and protect you, who they see as their precious pearl, from the harsh world outside, making you feel so safe and warm in their arms. And when they need you in this way, it also comes so naturally to you to become their safe place to hide. I'm actually feeling butterflies in my stomach right now. You will be so adored and treasured by your person, and you will so adore and treasure them back. I'm finding it hard to put into words. And perhaps you or your person might not be able to put it into words either, if words of affirmation are not your love language. But your person just wants to hold you in the palm of their hand and be your shield and take on the entire world if they have to. But at the same time, they know to give you freedom and not smother you, as we can see that the shell is held open so that the pearl can step out and experience the world as they like. As well, combined with the House 3 card, which talks about communication and being rational, I feel that you and your person will be so wise and kind and mature with each other. You will make each other feel heard and respected, and you'll both be assured that your voice matters to the other. One thing I do want to mention, though, is that on the House 7 card, we have these two birds separated by a barrier that they have both worked to break down in order to reach each other. we also have these mountains, which can represent either something steadfast and significant in your life, or something that is a difficult obstacle. In your case, there are also these same mountains on the House 3 card. So while one of your most important blessings in this lifetime is to experience this wonderful magical love with your soulmate, for some of you, there could be some noteworthy obstacles that will try to get in your way first. However, we can see that on the House 7 card, these two birds have broken down the barrier separating them. So I am confident that when you find each other, nothing can keep you two apart. And since the mountains also represent something monumental and significant, it means that there is no way that this amazing blessing will pass you by. It is meant to be yours, and it's ready and waiting for you to claim. Since House 3 is also about early learning and childhood experiences, one possible obstacle that may try to challenge you could be childhood traumas or negative patterns from your youth or your past. For example, if you grew up with parents who fought or a disharmonious family environment, you may try to seek familiar patterns, and so it could be quite difficult for you to receive your blessing of this kind of wonderful, stable, fulfilling love. House 3 is also about communication and connections with others. This house is ruled by Mercury, which is focused on the mind, intelligence, and skills, as well as the ability to communicate these eloquent thoughts and concepts. So another blessing for those of you who picked this pile could involve becoming more of an efficient communicator. It may be within relationships of all kinds, or in your job, or simply in everyday life. When you speak, there is something about you that makes people want to listen and even learn from you. And for some of you, you may be gifted with smarts or skills in something that others around you really admire you for. As such, you are blessed to be quite successful and well respected. There's so much beautiful energy in your astrology oracle cards. I am very excited to find out more about the blessings meant to be yours. So let's jump right into it and take a look at the realm of love and romance. First, for your oracle cards, you have Loving All That Is. Wow, amazing energy. I'm feeling butterflies again. You also have Seed of the Heart. And for your tarot cards, there is, wow, the Ace of Cups. And also, oh my goodness, it's the 10 of Cups. I love that all of these beautiful cards came out for your love and romance blessings. Like we saw earlier with your astrology oracle cards, you are blessed to experience incredible, beautiful love, and even if things seem bleak in love right now for some of you, these cards are confirming that if you want it, this blessing is already yours to claim. Starting with Loving All That Is, the image, the message, and the energy here are all so reminiscent of our Venus card. In fact, this beautiful woman could be the goddess Venus herself, and she is embracing this glowing sphere, which reminds me of the pearl in the shell. The message here is about loving all and accepting all. This tells me that you and your partner will love and accept each other for all that you are. For example, you might think you look so grubby when you first wake up in the morning. But in their eyes and in their heart, your person will see you as the beautiful and wonderful and magical creature that you are. The number on this card is 22. These twos represent you and your soulmate. Both of you are represented by a 2, which means love, harmony, and balance. And when you come together, you add up to 4. Which is all about stability and security and divine protection. Now for the Seed of the Heart Oracle card that also came out for you, it makes me think that your blessings in love and romance will be arriving very soon because the seed has already been planted. For those of you who have found your person, the two of you will watch your seed of love grow and blossom. Others of you who might have your eyes on someone, and even if you are so super single right now that you can't get more single, the seed of the blessing of love has already been planted in your heart. So if you give it the nurturing it needs, it will absolutely sprout. The number on this card is 25, and the digits add to 7. So with these two oracle cards together, 4 to 7 weeks or 4 to 7 months may be significant timing for your love and romance blessings. 22 or 25 may also be notable numbers for some of you. And as for your tarot cards, you have so much lovely cups energy. Cups are full of emotion and connection, and the Ace of Cups is an everlasting, overflowing, and pure love. It can represent a new love offer being presented to you, or the first stirring of love emotions. This could mean that those of you who are single will be receiving a special love offer that makes your heart stir. And for those of you who already have your person, this card brings the blessing of renewing and limitless abundance and intimacy within your connection. On the other end of the spectrum, you also have the 10 of Cups. This is one of the cards that everyone wants to get in a love reading because it's all about completion, fulfillment, and true union and happiness in a relationship. And as you can see on this beautiful card, these two lovers are intertwined in their dance and their bodies fit together perfectly. This is when two become one in mind, in body, and in soul. If the Ace of Cups represents the beginning of love, the 10 of Cups is the culmination and ultimate union of love. Since both these cards came out for you, you will be blessed throughout the entirety of this love connection, from the beginning and throughout your journey in union. I also want to mention that for those of you who find this of significance, the number 2, 22, or 11 could be a special number to you or your soulmate, since you have a total of 11 cups here. And of course, the digits in 11 also happen to reduce to 2. Wow, I feel a little bit out of breath from all of your amazing love blessings. It is time now to take a look at the blessings meant for you in the area of abundance and wealth. This abundance could often be interpreted in the monetary and financial sense, but of course it can also be about opportunities, resources, knowledge, or energy, so feel free to take abundance in the way that resonates for you. For this part of the reading, I have a few tea leaf cards. There is the Hand with a message in need of help, assistance, and guidance. Also, there is the Arrow with you are on the right path regarding some aspect of your life. And finally, there is the Flowers card, which carries the message of happiness. Starting from the Hand card here, some of you who picked this reading may actually be having a hard time with money or wealth at the moment. You may be struggling a bit, or perhaps you are comfortable but you're just not meeting your financial goals. It could also be that you have what you need, but you are stuck in a mindset of not having enough and of lack. In this respect, your blessing is that a helping hand is on the way. This help could be from an actual person, such as a friend, family, a mentor, or even a total stranger. It could also be through the form of guidance, such as knowledge or intuition or even divine guidance. I do want to mention though, a few of you watching may have trouble with asking for help or with receiving assistance. If this resonates with you, this card wants to remind you that it is perfectly fine to be in need of help, and it's absolutely all right to accept help from others. Those who love you will not see you as less than, and they probably want to give you any help they can because they want you to be happy and successful and thriving. So when you need help, allow yourself to ask and to receive. Moving on to the Arrow card. The blessing is clear that you are on the right path, or you will be guided onto the right path with respect to your abundance. And paired with the Hand card, this could mean that your blessing will involve a helping hand that will nudge you toward the right direction. Looking closer at the image on this Arrow card, we see that the angle of the arrow looks like it is at the beginning half of its trajectory arc, because it is inclined upwards. This makes me think that for many of you, there still needs to be a bit more time before your blessings in abundance can fully manifest. However, arrows travel very fast, so since you are or will be on the right path, the journey can seem to fly by and you will receive your blessings in no time. Finally, with the Flowers card, which talks about happiness, I really like this card. The message is simple and clear, and it is the blessing of happiness and contentment with your financial, wealth, and abundance situation. So while we see that some of you still may need to have some patience in order for your blessings to fully arrive, you will still feel contentment and satisfaction with your growth and with the journey. This card also means that ultimately you are blessed to be happy with your situation. Some of you may have a few struggles and need a bit of outside assistance or guidance from the universe, but you will be able to make quite a nice living for yourself, and you'll be able to reach your ideal state of abundance. Looking at all these three cards together, I think many of you who chose this pile are blessed to be quite well off. But more important than the amount of money waiting for you, you will be able to actually be happy with what you have. One thing I want to point out though, for me, this Flowers card always makes me think of love. And I'm not surprised because you seem to have so much love energy in this reading from the get-go. So of course, it's no surprise that there could be some more love energy here when it comes to your abundance blessings. Looking at the image on this Flowers card, there is a beautiful bluebird who is surrounded by all of these blooming pink flowers. The message here is that you are this bluebird, and your blessing is that you are surrounded with all of this beautifully blooming abundance of love. There is love in the romantic sense, and love from friendship, as well as love from those of your soul family. For many of you, I feel that you already are this bluebird, and you are enjoying being showered in all of this love energy right this moment. However, there are definitely some of you on the other side of the spectrum who are feeling lack. This card is assuring you that this blessing of abundance in love is yours, though you may have to work for it. Perhaps you weren't born into this spot on the branch surrounded by flowers, but you can create this for yourself with your own power if it's what you want. For example, maybe there isn't a lot of love for you within your family, but you will make some ride or die true friends who will have your back and fill you with the love that you deserve, because friends are the family we get to choose. As well, I can't help but notice that the flowers tie really well to the seed of the heart message which we saw earlier. So here is another confirmation that your seed of love will be able to sprout and blossom into beautiful flowers. Now for the last part of your reading, I have 2 oracle cards which will tell us about the blessings meant for you with respect to your own inner growth and shadow work. We have Blame with the message, I accept responsibility for my well-being. And also you have success with I know that there is no greater goal than to love. First off, I want to mention again that there is such an overwhelming influence of the theme of love throughout your entire reading. It looks like for many of you, finding love and finding the person meant for you plays a significant part in what you consider to be success. And with this card coming out for you, it is confirmation that if you wish for success and love, then so it is. Your blessing is to find success in whichever way you would like to interpret it. On the success card, I am immediately drawn to what looks like a flower at the center of this image. Here is yet another confirmation and connection back to our flowers card and seed of the heart card from before. At this point, I don't think the cards can make it any clearer that you are meant to have your success and your happiness and your love. However, since you have the blame card coming out first, it is likely that you will have to do some shadow work before you're able to reach this success. Sometimes people are a bit wary or afraid of shadow work. Of course, it can be challenging, difficult, and stormy, but this card wants to let you know that shadow work in itself is a blessing. It could be that some of you will be resolving a negative habit of always blaming yourself or seeing yourself as unworthy or incapable. The message about accepting responsibility for your own well-being also suggests that some of you may be blessed with being able to grasp the sense of empowerment in knowing and accepting that you have the ability to create your own happiness. This message also indicates that some of you will be leveling up by taking care of your own well-being and putting your well-being as your top priority. Instead of blaming others for things that go wrong, accepting the responsibility ourselves brings us a sense of agency and control and power in that we know we can shape our own paths and manifest our desires. This blame card always makes me think of forgiveness as well. So for some of you, in the realm of your personal growth, there could be an important release of blame coming for you. Perhaps you will be forgiving someone who hurt you deeply in the past, and this dissolution of blame will help you finally move on and head toward the right path meant for you. It could also be that you will be forgiving your past self, or your younger self, or your naive self that made mistakes and caused you tears and heartache. This card indicates that for many of you, there will be an important healing that is coming for you in your personal journey, and you have the opportunity to come out the other side a lot more whole and beautiful and bright. I feel a lot of positive, assuring, and empowering energy from both these cards, and I am definitely looking forward for you to experience these blessings. Those are all the messages I have for you today. I really enjoyed this reading. There was a whole lot of beautiful love energy, and I am feeling so warm and fuzzy right now, so thank you for letting me do this reading for you today. Please feel free to claim all the blessings you would like, and remember this is a general reading, so don't worry if not every single message was for you. As always, I would like to remind you that we do have the ability to shape our own destinies. So please feel empowered, because if there's something that you don't like in your reading, trust that you do have the power to influence and change it. Please let me know in the comments below if things resonated for you, and please feel free to leave a like and subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one. This reading is for those of you who have chosen the green tea glass. Thank you for joining me and welcome to your reading in which we will be spilling the tea and finding out all about the blessings that are meant for you, waiting for you, and coming to you. If you chose this reading and it resonates for you, you can comment spilling the tea down below. For today's reading, we will first find out about some of the strongest blessings or themes that want to come through for you. Then we will take a closer look at 3 specific areas, including love and romance, abundance and wealth, and also inner growth and shadow work, to find out what blessings are waiting for you in each of these areas. Along the way, I will also interpret any timing clues that could give us some idea regarding when your blessings may be manifesting or when they might be making significant progress. Starting with these astrology oracle cards, let's take a look at the overarching themes or major areas of focus for the blessings that are meant for you. We have conjunction, which says a union, merging, and coming together. You also got House 9 with spiritual growth. And finally, House 3 with a message early learning, childhood relations, the rational mind, and communication. So far, I'm liking the spread for you. It looks like you have all your bases covered with significant blessings meant for you in many aspects of your life. Let's begin with the conjunction card. In astrology, conjunction refers to when 2 or more planets line up together. As you can see on this card, there is a line indicating 0 degrees. This is showing that the planets involved are perfectly in conjunction as they are 0 degrees apart. When this happens, their energies become blended and they work together as teammates in synergy. Especially with this message talking about a union, merging, and coming together, I'm getting very strong relationship vibes from this card. For the majority of you, this is indicating blessings in your love life. You may be coming into final union with your soulmate, or it could be that for those who are single and still looking for your person, your paths will be merging together very soon. For a few of you though, this could be referring to a union or partnership in another aspect of life, such as business or family. Regardless, this card represents your blessing of uniting with a person or entity that plays a significant role in your life path. When planets are in conjunction and they're very similar, then you can have a 1 + 1 = greater than 2 kind of effect, where the harmony amplifies the energy. So if you and your person are quite similar, you'll be blessed with unity and rewarded by a sum that is greater than its parts. On the other hand, if the planets in conjunction are quite different, they will require mindful integration with one another to fully actualize their combined power. This can mean that you and your person may be coming into alignment with each other, such that you will be able to see eye to eye with regard to important things like your values and your outlooks on life. For those of you who are currently with someone in a relationship that seems to be stalling due to each person wanting different things or simply not being on the same page, this card indicates that you will either be able to sort out your differences and walk forward together, or it can mean that you will have the clarity and courage to move on from someone who is not right for you, and you'll be rewarded by almost miraculously meeting that person who does match you in harmonious conjunction. Of course, this interpretation applies to the few of you who have this blessing in a realm other than romance. For example, this can mean that you'll be seeing eye to eye with your business partner, or perhaps you'll be resolving conflicts with a parent or an important friend. Moving on to your House 9 card. This house is all about your higher mind and true inner wisdom. It's about spiritual growth and expansion. The number 9 always makes me think of old souls, and the 9th house really is like the embodiment of a wise old soul type who knows who they are and where they're headed. I feel that many of you watching may identify as old souls yourself, or perhaps people around you are drawn to you because of an aura of wise and calm and knowing that you radiate. For others of you who have been trying to work on yourself and grow, this card is telling us that personal and spiritual growth is definitely an important part of your blessings. The 9th house is ruled by Jupiter, which is the planet of expansion, so you will be broadening your horizons. Especially for the few of you who have been feeling a little bit lost with your life path or direction, this house is about searching for meaning and finding your purpose. Funnily enough, you also have the House 3 card. The 3rd house is the one that sits opposite to the 9th house, and it represents the rational side of learning and knowledge. So while you have the blessing of growth in higher wisdom and spirituality with House 9, you also have the blessing of growth in terms of learning and intelligence with House 3. This house also represents communication, so another blessing coming for you could involve leveling up in terms of your communication skills. Perhaps communication is a problem within your current relationship, or maybe you have had a history of being not the best when it comes to communicating your feelings or your boundaries. It could also be communicating your ideas in a business relationship or an academic setting. If this resonates with you, then your blessing is the inspiration and courage to step out of any past negative patterns and step into healthy, eloquent communication. The 3rd house also represents early learning and childhood relations. So for a few of you, this could mean that you will also be able to identify and resolve some childhood traumas. In particular, I feel that this could be trauma with respect to how you feel toward love and your worthiness of receiving love. I do want to point out one detail that's catching my eye on the image of this House 9 card. We can see that there is this winged heart bearing a burning candle, and it looks like this heart might be in flames as well. I think this card is reminding us that in order to ignite our inner flame of wisdom and really grow as a person, we will need courage to face the fires that threaten to burn us down. This could be indicating that while you have so many amazing blessings waiting for you, in order to receive them, you may have to do some shadow work or soul searching. But instead of burning you down, these flames of adversity will actually help to light your fire. Overall, these cards are showing that your blessings will bring you significant growth and evolution. Growth can be difficult, that's why they call it growing pains, but you will receive the opportunity to come out stronger and wiser. Your moment of metamorphosis may be right around the corner, and the winds of fate are changing direction for the better. With all that said, we will now break things down into specific categories. To start, we shall take a more in-depth look at the blessings waiting for you with respect to love and romance. I have 2 oracle cards and 2 tarot cards for you. There is Man of the Earth, Woman of the Sky, and also Towering Magnificence. And for your tarot cards, you have the 4 of Swords, as well as the Queen of Cups. First of all, the number 3 or multiple 3s may be of significance to many of you who chose this pile, or perhaps 3 weeks or 3 months could be the timing clue for the onset or arrival of your blessings. Because the Man of the Earth, Woman of the Sky card is number 48, whose digits add up to 12, which reduces further to 3. And your other oracle card is number 30, which also reduces to 3. Plus, you have the 3rd house from before, so that is 3 3s. You also had house 9, which is made up of 3 3s. 3 is all about expansion and creation, and the blessing waiting for you with respect to love and romance is this amazing expansion and creation. Your world will be becoming more colorful because love will light the way. just like how beautifully colorful and vibrant this Man of the Earth, Woman of the Sky card is. For this card, the man and woman simply represent divine masculine and divine feminine, or earth and sky. It's about being able to come together in colorful harmony, even if each person has their own differences. In fact, the differences each person brings to the table are what help add color to your love and allow you to taste the best of both worlds. And in fact, the aspects in which you two are opposites magnetize and strengthen your attraction. If this sounds like the kind of love connection you have been wishing for or manifesting, brace yourself, because this is the blessing coming for you. And when it arrives, you might even be a little doubtful whether it's real and really yours because of how exactly perfect for you it is in its towering magnificence. For those of you who have been trying to manifest your soulmate, it might turn out where your perfect person will just seem to fall out of the sky right in front of you, and they will somehow check off all the boxes on your list. It could be a bit hard for you to believe at first, but this is your reward for putting in the effort to level yourself up in terms of personal growth and doing the difficult shadow work to learn the difficult lessons meant for you. Because like attracts like. Looking now at the tarot cards, there will be a lot of gentle, easy, flowing energy coming for you in your love life, because the Four of Swords is all about rest, healing, recharging, breathing easy, and peace, while the Queen of Cups represents emotional stability, love, and maturity. Maybe many of you have gone through a lot of really exhausting, messy, angsty experiences in your romantic career. Perhaps your path was paved by toxic relationships or drama and lit by the fire of the bridges you burnt. But none of that was in vain, because you loved and you learned. And now that you have figured out what you want and need in love, as well as your boundaries and how to spot red flags, you have this beautiful Four of Swords and Queen of Cups energy waiting for you in your love life. And for those of you who are still in the middle of the messy, difficult phase of your love path, the cards want to confirm for you that this peaceful, stable, mature, and beautiful love connection is a blessing that you are meant to receive. The Four of Swords represents cutting yourself free from the toxicity and finally being able to breathe easy and breathe deeply. The image on this card is so warm and soft and peaceful. It actually makes me think of a cat taking a nap in the sun, enjoying the warmth and everything just flowing smoothly and easily as it should. On the other hand, the Queen of Cups looks to be dancing in a moonlit night, full of depth and emotion and connection. And with these two cards together, it's another reiteration of the yin and yang, sky and earth, the best of both worlds. For this next part of your reading, we will look at the blessings meant for you in the area of abundance and wealth. This can refer to monetary and financial abundance for sure, but it can also be about opportunities, resources, knowledge, or even energy. So please feel free to interpret abundance in the way that resonates for you. For this part of the reading, I have a few tea leaf cards. There is grapes with time to go out and have fun. You also have the Eye with psychic ability, trust your intuition. And last but not least, there is Tower with solid foundation, success with effort. Right off the bat, the grapes card is drawing in my attention because for me, grapes are the fruit of abundance and luxury and enjoyment. They make me think of lavish parties hosted by ancient royals, where the guests are showered with an abundance of good food, drink, and merriment, and they are hand-fed grapes of luxury while there are servers fanning them with those giant leaves. This tells me that for those of you who picked this reading, there is absolutely a whole lot of abundance waiting for you. Most likely, it will be abundance in something physical or tangible, or along the lines of the pleasures of the senses. So this could be money or material wealth, or being able to enjoy luxurious experiences and feeling pampered. And since the message talks about going out to have fun, this could be suggesting your blessing in abundance will be opportunities to enjoy yourself, enjoy others' company, and experience the world. We also have the eye talking about psychic ability and intuition. So like we saw at the beginning with your House 9 card about spiritual growth, your abundance can come in the form of advancement in your personal journey and tuning into your own intuition. For some of you, I want to interpret this card as advice for you to listen to your inner voice, because it will help you to receive these blessings in abundance and wealth. For example, this could be a business decision where you will have to make a choice to listen to your gut, and you will be rewarded for trusting your intuition. And finally, with the Tower card here, which represents solid foundations and obtaining success with effort, your blessing in the realm of abundance and wealth will be something long-lasting because you'll be laying solid foundations. For some of you, this could mean that when your blessing first manifests, it may not be a very obvious gain in abundance, but instead it is actually setting the stage and building a strong foundation for long-term abundance and wealth to flow in for you. One example coming to mind is an investment of sorts. Perhaps you are investing in an idea, in a business venture, or investing in your own education. At first, you won't notice significant returns and rewards, but you are in fact setting yourself up for continuous success in the future. Especially since this card mentions success with effort, it makes sense that there will need to be investment of effort and heart in order to be rewarded. For me personally, this Tower card always makes me think of the Tower in Tarot, which talks about a sudden or unexpected change in the wind. So for some of you, your blessings in abundance and wealth may come without warning as a surprise to you. In tarot, the Tower is crumbling and a symbol of upheaval and demolition. But in this card, the Tower is strong and standing tall due to its solid foundations. So in this case, this is a very positive card which suggests that your circumstances are strongly rooted and they will be able to withstand whatever challenges may try to come in your way. Overall, these are all extremely wonderful cards for your blessings in abundance and wealth. If you find yourself face to face with any difficult decisions, especially if they seem to come out of the blue or very unexpectedly, trust your intuition and put in your efforts. Oh, and also don't forget to have a little fun. For the last part of your reading today, I have 2 oracle cards which will tell us a little bit more about the blessings meant for you when it comes to your own inner growth and shadow work. We have Friendship with the message, I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. And you also have Honesty with, I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. Let's start with the Friendship card. For some of you, it could be that an important friend in your life will be someone who will play a crucial role to inspire your growth, or they will give you a helping hand along your journey. However, the message that is coming through even more strongly with this card is that this friendship would be friendship with your own self. This means a journey of becoming more acquainted with yourself, of learning more about yourself, and of finding your own worth, liking yourself, and befriending yourself. Perhaps some of you who picked this reading have been or are still currently struggling with either your own value or finding yourself. And this self-love and valuing yourself really bleed into all aspects of your life. For example, when it comes to love, if you don't know your own value and if you don't even like yourself, it may be quite difficult for someone else to value and like you in the way that you deserve. Another concept coming through very strongly with this card is that you should be kind and gentle with yourself throughout your personal growth journey, just like how you would treat an old dear friend. Shadow work can be extremely difficult, and sometimes we aren't able to avoid from making the same mistakes more than once. For example, maybe a few of you find yourselves always falling for the same type of toxic romantic partner, and you know better, but you still end up retracing those same footsteps. Or it could be that you've been struggling to resolve past negative patterns, but when things get real, you find yourself spiraling down those same spirals again. Regardless of what it is that you may really want to beat yourself up for, this card is reminding you to not be so hard on yourself. Sometimes we need to self-soothe and give ourselves some forgiveness and patience and grace, especially paired with the honesty card here. Being honest and real with yourself does not mean you have to be cold or harsh about it. Since these two cards came out together, your personal growth blessings can involve getting to know yourself better, being honest and truthful with yourself, but doing so in a friendly and gentle kind of way. With honesty, though, definitely comes a lot of facing reality and facing things that you may be a bit afraid or even ashamed to face about yourself. But it will flow much more smoothly if you remember to do your best to treat yourself like an old friend, because the goal is to come out the other side all the wiser and stronger and more tuned in with your inner voice and higher self. With that said, those are all the messages I have for you today. Whenever I see a heavy influence of spiritual and personal growth, it often means there will be growing pains, but everything came out with so much positive energy, so do not fear the shadow work that is in store for you, because shadow work in itself is a blessing. As always, please feel free to claim all the messages you would like, and do remember this is a general reading, so don't fret if not every single message was for you. Also, I always want to remind you that we do have the ability to shape our own destinies, so please feel empowered, because if there is something you don't like in your reading, be assured that you have the power to influence and to change it. Please let me know in the comments below if things resonated for you, and please feel free to leave a like and subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one. This reading is for those of you who have chosen the Ocean Glass. Thank you for joining me, and welcome to your reading all about the blessings that are meant for you, waiting for you, and coming to you. We will start by getting a feel for your strongest blessing or some of their overarching themes. Then we will look more in depth at the 3 specific areas of love and romance, abundance and wealth, and also inner growth and shadow work to see what blessings are waiting for you in each area. Along the way, if there are any timing clues that pop up, I will also interpret them for you to figure out when these blessings may be coming in or when they'll be making significant progress. To start off your reading, I have some astrology oracle cards to tell us about any overarching themes or major areas of focus for the strongest blessings coming for you. There is the Moon with the message, satisfy emotional needs, nurture self and others. Also, there is House 8, which says transformation, karma, facing fears and legacies. And finally, you have House 5 with passion, play, children, confidence, and creativity. Wow, I love these cards. I'm noticing right away that the images on these cards are connected in sequence and they tell a story. First, we start with the moon being the center of focus, and then in the House 8 card, we have the moon moving into the background and the skeleton of a bird sitting on a branch as the new main focus. And lastly, in the House 5 card, here's what looks to be the same bird sitting on the branch, but he is fully fleshed out and full of life and singing a beautiful song. These cards are telling us not only about some of your strongest blessings and themes, but also of a journey of transformation that you will go through as you welcome and manifest these blessings. Let's unpack all of this, starting with the very first card, which is the moon. And if you have been here before, you may know that the moon is very significant to me personally and to this channel. In tarot, the moon represents spirituality, emotion, things unseen, shadow work, and ancient divine wisdom. In tarot, the moon is also the Pisces card, which is full of gentle, emotional, and spiritual water energy. In astrology, the moon represents the inner self and subconscious mind, the spirit, emotions, and feelings, as well as your private, intimate shadow side. In astrology, the moon rules the Cancer sign, and Cancer is sensitive, nurturing, and full of gentle and powerful emotion as well. As such, the moon card is bringing you the important blessings of fulfilling emotional and spiritual connection, as well as getting in touch with your internal self and shadow side. Your emotional needs will be met either by fulfilling them from within or from your external relationships, such as with a romantic partner or with family and dear friends, or perhaps there will be a combination of both internal and external. Many of you will be feeling nurtured and nurturing toward your loved ones. Others of you will be welcoming the blessing of forming or strengthening your connection with your inner self and intuition. And for those of you who have been maybe putting off some overdue shadow work, you will find the opportunity or inspiration or courage to begin that journey. With that journey will come the transformation seen with House 8. Some of you may be facing and resolving karmic wounds and cycles, or needing to address and overcome your fears, but as a result, you will be enjoying the blessing of coming to terms with what you want to build as your legacy. The 8th astrological house is the house of death and rebirth, of sexuality, and of transformation. Many of you may be turning the page on parts of yourself that you want to leave behind, which is what the death part represents, but then you will be able to transform and be renewed as a better and more grown version of yourself in the rebirth. A few of you may also be coming to terms with discovering or getting more familiar with your own sexuality or sexual preferences. This could definitely involve some spicy and steamy new experiences, so that is something exciting to look forward to. Sometimes people can be a bit fearful of the 8th house, but all I see here are positive blessings of things that may seem like challenges or difficulties, but are actually blessings in disguise. However, with karma and facing fears, there could definitely be some difficult or painful shadow work in store for some of you. Though I do want to note, often people are wary when they hear about karma and karmic cycles or karmic wounds. In this respect, I want to point out that karma can be good karma and represent the reward for your kindness and good deeds as well. And these cards want to affirm that things will turn out for the better, especially since this card is followed by House 5. Now, the 5th house is full of the simple pleasures and joys of being alive. It is the house of pleasures, play, and enjoyment. This house is ruled by the sun, so it's about creativity, about expression, freedom, confidence, warmth, and passion. If you are an artist, here is where you create. If you are an adventurer, here is where you explore. If you are a diamond, here is where you shine. Whatever your passions and hobbies may be, your blessings will be the time or opportunity or the inspiration to pursue them. The 5th house is full of passion and pleasure, so of course it extends to the romantic part of your life as well. We can also see the rosy pink energy of this card. Many of you may be feeling more confidence or more desire to be adventurous in your love life. For those who are single and ready to mingle, you will definitely be receiving lots of opportunities to do some mingling. It could be fun and flirty, or warm and romantic, or lusty and passionate. Whatever floats your boat. The 5th house also rules children and your relationships to children. So for those of you who do want kids, or maybe even a fur baby, your blessing from this 5th house card could be a child. We can also see in the image on this card, there is a heart with wings and an ignited flame. So whatever it is that gives you pleasure will be coming for you, and you'll feel that your heart is bright and burning. I'm getting really excited for you, and I don't know about you, but I can't wait for these blessings to manifest. And as for timing of these blessings, I am getting the feeling of springtime when the birds are singing and the flowers are in bloom. Or it could be around Leo season in late summer because House 5 is the natural home of Leo. Although on second thought, it could also just be that since you will be overflowing with joy, energy, and creativity, or even falling in love and exploring your passions, you might feel like the flowers are in full bloom and the sun is shining brightly even if it's in the dead of winter. So maybe this isn't too helpful as a timing clue after all. But in this case then, it will be when you are in your personal season of emotional spring and summer, and you will know when it will come because it will follow your season of emotional winter, which we saw with the House 8 card. Now then, since we ended on so much passionate and flirty and romantic energy with the blessing of an emotional spring and summer, let's go more in detail at the particular blessings waiting for you with respect to love and romance. I have 2 oracle cards and 2 tarot cards for you. There is falling, nice and simple. And also distant shores. And for your tarot cards, you have the 9 of Pentacles and also the Queen of Wands. Okay, so I'll just say this straight. It seems like those of you who picked this reading will be falling in love or falling deeper in love if you have already found your person. It will be exciting, it will be powerful, it can be overwhelming, and it might even be a little scary. But the reason we call it falling in love has to do with the hint of feeling loss of control. For this falling card, I love the simple image and the simple word which capture such complex emotions. Those of you who have fallen in love, you will know exactly what that feeling is like. And like I said, it may be scary, but even if it is, the fear part of it can't even hold a candle to how amazing and magical falling in love really is. Perhaps some of you who chose this reading may have struggled with control issues and learning to release and surrender. Maybe you are afraid of truly falling in love and giving up that control and opening up your heart, and this is why subconsciously you may be pushing people away or keeping them at arm's length. If this resonates for you, this card wants to remind you that it's time to stop holding yourself back, because you can often be your own biggest blockage. The number on this card is 14, and the numbers 1 and 4 add up to 5. 5 is about change, about challenge, about being out of your comfort zone. So when your blessing comes to fall in love, allow yourself to. Like the saying goes, it's better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all. And like I always say, you will never really lose because you will love and you will learn. And all the challenges that come your way will steer you toward the right direction. To further confirm for you that you will be falling in the right direction, we have this Distant Shores card. This card is number 18, which reduces to 9. 9 is an old soul number for me, and there's so much purple on this card, which is also an old soul color in my mind. Everything about this card is giving off a deep spiritual connection that knows no bounds. You and your soulmate will not pass each other by. Even if you are separated and on distant shores, you will somehow always manage to find each other. There's also a beautiful poem in the guidebook for this card, which I would love to read for you. It says, I waited for dawn, not wanting to go, but knowing I soon would have to leave. I waited for the first light, listening, joining with you on each breath and each exhale. I watched as morning came, and you gently stirred, knowing our love was not measured in time, not the minutes that quickly passed, or the hours as departure approached. How I wanted to linger, how I wanted to tell you that this moment would last forever, and whisper one more time, I love you. And then you held me and said it first, and goodbye no longer mattered. This card is about expansion and longing and journeying toward your beloved. There are messages of travel in this card, so perhaps for some, travel could be in store for you in your love path. Maybe a few of you who might be physically apart, such as those in a long-distance relationship, you will have a chance to come together. For others of you, this travel is metaphorical in the sense of stepping out of your comfort zone, expanding your mind, opening your eyes to new perspectives. The blessings of union with your soulmate is meant for you. However, I will be honest and say that this blessing may take a while to fully manifest for many of you, because right now you may still be on these distant shores. Since these oracle card numbers reduced to 5 and 9, perhaps 5 to 9 months could be the time frame. Though those of you already experiencing this falling stage could have it faster, like 5 to 9 weeks. 14 or 18 may also be significant numbers for you in your love connection. Now, as for your tarot cards, the 9 of Pentacles is about security and freedom in abundance, as well as independence and being able to give a sense of fulfillment and wholeness to yourself. When it comes to love, this card is about loving yourself first before you're able to fully love and receive love from another. It is also about being happy and satisfied on your own, regardless of whether you are single or within a relationship. This card is saying that for those of you who do want to be in a relationship, your partner will be able to meet your high standards, and you will still be able to feel free and retain your own sense of individuality and independence within your connection, which will be balanced out by your healthy interdependence and love. And for those of you who want to be in a season of singlehood at the moment, you'll feel content and whole on your own as well. For the Nine of Pentacles in this deck in particular, there's also an abundance of creative energy and passion, similar to the energy we saw with your House 5 card, because as we can see on the image, there is a person playing a grand piano surrounded by lush greenery out in the middle of nature. Actually, your other card, which is the Queen of Wands, also has someone playing a musical instrument, which looks like a harp formed from the branches of this tree. And in line with the music theme, the House 5 has this bird singing, and we see musical notes drawn here as well. Perhaps many of you who chose this reading resonate with music, the arts, or having a passion or hobby in the creative realm. Also, with the Queen of Wands, there is a lot of inspired and fiery warmth. The Queen of Wands is attractive, sensual, and a passionate and fierce lover. But similar to the energy in the Nine of Pentacles about keeping your own identity, the Queen of Wands is also independent and confident. I really like the combination of the stable, grounded earth energy of the Pentacles with the explosive, invigorating fire energy of the Wands, especially when it comes to love readings. With these two cards together, they are telling us that your love blessings involve having the best of both worlds. A love filled with stability and security, but also fireworks and passion. A connection balanced with healthy independence and interdependence. For this next part of your reading, we shall look at the blessings meant for you in the area of abundance and wealth. This can refer to monetary and financial abundance, but it can also be about opportunities or knowledge, resources, or even energy. So feel free to interpret abundance however it may resonate for you. For this part of the reading, I have some tea leaf cards. First, we have the bouquet, and it says compliments from an admirer. Ooh. You also have older man with the message dealings or relationship with an older man. And finally, we have an astral house tea leaf, which is career. Oh wow, that is amazing. First of all, don't tell the other groups, but you are the only one who got an astral house tea leaf card. And since we are talking about blessings in abundance and wealth, having the career card come out for you here is wonderful. This definitely means you should be expecting to level up in regard to your career, and as such, it will bring you abundance in the form of monetary reward or personal fulfillment, or both. For example, you may be figuring out your calling and the direction you want to progress in your career. Or some of you could be earning a promotion or otherwise getting recognized at work. It might also be that some are building your own businesses or receiving opportunities to explore career endeavors you may have been interested in or trying to manifest. The image on this career card of this desk with a quill on it actually also reminds me of academia and studies. So this blessing in career could be education toward your ideal career as well. A few of you may be waiting to hear back from a school application, or maybe receiving a scholarship or award or recognition in your studies. You also have bouquet here talking about compliments and an admirer, so this is further confirmation that you will be recognized for your excellence with respect to your career or your studies. And as for this older man card, it could be talking about a business partner or a mentor or someone along the path who will play a crucial role in guiding you in the realm of your abundance and wealth. Although this is not the love and romance category, I can't help but get the feeling that with the bouquet and the older man cards, this could be a message for some of you about your love life as well. So in this respect, it can refer to abundance in love, perhaps an abundance of love offers and compliments and admiration, either from the plenty of fish in the sea if you're single, or from your special someone if you are already in a relationship. The older man doesn't have to be someone who is as old as this man drawn on this card. This could simply be someone who is even slightly older than you, or an old soul type of person, regardless of their actual age, who seems mature and wise, and the type of person who makes you feel like you can look to them for advice and you can depend on them when you need them. These are all very positive cards, and you even had an astral house tea leaf, so these blessings in abundance and wealth may be very significant or important for a lot of you who chose this reading. Now then, last but not least, I have 2 oracle cards to tell us about the blessings with respect to your own personal growth and shadow work. We have Adversity with the message, I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. And also there is Health, which says, I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. The Adversity card resonates very well with the House 8 energy that we saw earlier for you. And this card touches again upon the fact that challenges are meant to teach us important lessons, and as such, they can be blessings in disguise. Some of you may be overcoming a significant roadblock that has been holding you back in terms of your growth. Perhaps these are some deep-rooted paradigms or old wounds that have yet to be healed. If this resonates for you, it could be that you have simply been putting a band-aid to cover up karmic wounds or past traumas instead of facing and resolving them. With this blessing comes the inspiration and courage to really rip off that band-aid, treat the injury, and finally let it heal. And speaking of healing, you also have the Health card. So this could be physical health, mental health, psychological health, or a combination of all of these. This health may be coming in the form of feeling motivated to work out and get in shape, or improve your diet and your habits. Or it could be in the form of spending time on yourself and taking moments to breathe and relax. Whatever it is, you will be feeling refreshed and nourished and quenched. I really like this Health card because the greens are so soothing to look at. It makes me feel very calm, and I like how the image looks like a succulent plant. I really like succulents because although they can be a bit hard to take care of, when you do get it right and give them the love and effort and sunshine that they need, they will flourish and reveal their true beautiful colors. And since Adversity and Health came out together, it could be that for a few of you, you will be overcoming an actual physical or psychological illness. And if this is you right now, please receive my best wishes and the blessings from these cards for a healthy recovery and coming out of it even stronger. Those are all the messages I have for you today. As usual, please feel free to claim all the blessings that resonate, but please remember that this is a general reading, so don't worry if not every single message was for you. And as always, I want to remind you that we all have the ability to shape our own paths. So please feel empowered, because if there's something that you don't like in your reading, know that you do have the power to influence and change it. Please let me know in the comments below if things resonated for you, and please feel free to leave a like and subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching, take care, and I will see you in the next one. This reading is for those of you who have chosen the Galaxy Glass. Thank you for joining me and welcome to your reading all about the blessings that are meant for you, waiting for you, and coming to you. In this reading, we shall start off with looking into the strongest blessings or themes that are coming through for you. And then we will find out what blessings are waiting for you in each of the 3 specific areas of love and romance, abundance and wealth, and also inner growth and shadow work. Along the way, if any timing clues do come up, I will interpret them too to give us an idea of when these blessings may be manifesting or when they might be making notable progress. First of all, I have some astrology oracle cards, which will give us an idea of some major themes or significant areas of focus for the strongest and most important blessings waiting for you. You have the Pisces card with the message intimacy, intuition, and compassion. You also have House 7 with profound relationships, intimacy, and romantic partnerships. And finally, there is House 6, which carries the message establishing a foundation, health, daily life, and practical details. Starting with our Pisces card here. Pisces is a beautiful, gentle, spiritual, soft, and sensitive energy. Pisces is about connecting with your emotional, true, and psychic self, and about intimacy and intuition both internally and externally. This card tells me that one significant blessing for those of you who chose this reading is in the realm of personal growth, especially in regard to connecting with your inner voice and allowing yourself to feel. Particularly for those of you who have been working on aligning with your intuition, an important blessing coming for you could be the ability and opportunity to connect better with your inner voice or your higher self. Pisces season, or perhaps when there's a full moon in Pisces, which I believe is around September, may be a significant time frame for you in regard to when your blessings may manifest or progress. Pisces is about intimacy and psychic connections as well, so this could be referring to strengthening of a particular special bond with your soulmate. For the majority of you, this growth in intimacy and connection would be with your romantic partner, since Pisces is the 2 fish, and on the House 7 card we have the 2 birds. As well, the 7th house is another confirmation for the emphasis of intimacy, especially within your romantic relationship. So there is definitely very strong love energy in the blessings meant for you, because House 7 rules relationships and marriage. It's about that long-term, stable, and secure romantic bond with the one meant for you. I do want to mention that House 7 is also about contracts or business partnerships. So for a few of you, there could be some blessings within your career or business endeavors, especially if they involve a contract or business partner. Taking a closer look at the imagery on the House 7 card, we have the 2 birds with what looks like a barrier between them. However, this barrier looks as if it's been broken down by the 2 birds. So those of you who have been having struggles in love, such as trouble manifesting your soulmate or difficulty within your love connection, the message in this card is confirmation for you that you will be able to break down whatever walls are keeping you 2 apart, and you will be able to get through to each other. Even if it does not come easily to you, as we can see with this barrier, you and your person will both be willing to put in the effort to break down the barriers and meet in the middle, just like these 2 little birds. There are also some mountains on this card, and mountains can mean either obstacles or something monumental or immovable. In this case, the mountains are saying that this profound, intimate, and romantic partnership is definitely part of the blessings meant for you. So even if there are challenges and obstacles along your path, your beautiful love connection or soul connection or partnership is waiting for you and will not pass you by. Finally, you have the 6th house as well. This house is considered the house of health, and it also rules your daily routine, service, and work. This house is all about the common, simple, beautiful rhythm of your everyday routine, and it is the framework and foundation upon which you can expand and build the other realms of your life, such as love and spirituality and expansion. The blessing in this card for you is about getting yourself on track or back on track if you have strayed, with regard to your health, your self-care, your schedule, and your biorhythms. Perhaps some of you will be recovering from an actual illness, or you might be getting into a workout routine toward achieving your ideal body. A few of you may actually be struggling with a hectic schedule and feeling a little bit out of control with your life. So this is definitely a welcomed blessing of stability and finding a tempo and regaining health. You will be able to focus on your foundations to create a nurturing and practical routine and environment in which you can feel nourished enough to grow and to evolve. It may be simple, it may be basic, but oftentimes simple is best, and we must have a strong base in order to expand. This House 6 card is also making me think of service and acts of service, which is one of the 5 love languages. So perhaps in your love relationship, you and your person could be doing more to show your love through actions and through taking care of each other. Looking more closely at the images on this House 6 card, I see the skeleton of a wing, but from it feathers are growing. Similarly, there is the skeleton of a heart-shaped bottle, but it is being fleshed out on the other side. I also see all these beautiful roses growing from this bottle. The skeletons here make me think of the important framework and foundations of our life, and only with a strong skeleton can we grow our feathers to fly and nurture our flowers to bloom. This heart-shaped bottle with the flowers image was actually on one of the cards from Group 1 as well. And House 7 also came out for Group 1. So if you also felt drawn to Group 1, please feel free to watch that reading if you would like. One last thing I want to mention is that considering all these 3 cards together, many of you may be simplifying your life, especially within your profound relationships and romantic partnerships, and you could be doing so by connecting more intimately with your own inner self and with those loved ones. So especially for those of you who have been dealing with drama or messy situations, I think this will be a wonderful breath of fresh air, and it will finally allow you to breathe easier and feel at peace. So now that we have a picture of your strongest and most significant blessings, we'll move on to reading into the blessings waiting for you with respect to different realms in your life, starting with love and romance. I have 2 oracle cards and 2 tarot cards here. For the oracle cards, we have Yin-Yang Lover and also Simplicity. Wow, I love these cards. And as for your tarot cards, there is the King of Pentacles, as well as the 8 of Wands. This is very exciting for your love life. Starting with our Yin-Yang Lover. This card is overflowing with passion, chemistry, sparks, and fireworks. Those of you who are single will be finding that person with whom you can feel the electricity. And for those of you already with your soulmate, this is the blessing of renewed fire and explosive connection. Your love relationship will be charged and magnetic. No one will be able to deny the attraction. But while there is this amazing sensual electric energy, there's also balance and wisdom and stability in your relationship, just like the way yin and yang fit together. Perhaps between you and your person, one is a strong divine masculine and the other is a strong divine feminine, and together you two fit perfectly into each other. It could also be that your strengths and weaknesses balance each other out, so the two of you make the perfect pair. The number on this card is 8, and 8 is about balance, harmony, and especially about overflowing abundance, because it is also the infinity symbol upright. So regardless of your relationship status, you can expect the blessing of feeling an abundance of love and feeling balanced and at peace with your love situation. Moving on to the Simplicity card. While I love the beautiful, elaborate, and colorful paintings on many of these Journey of Love cards, I also especially adore the cards with these simple images. And of course, this simple image fits perfectly with the message of simplicity. I was going to interpret this image, but I'm thinking I'll leave it open to you. Kind of like one of those Rorschach test ink blots. Each person may see something different. So if you'd like, please leave a comment with what you see in this image. The simple message of simplicity is another confirmation for the blessing of going back to the common, simple, beautiful basics that we saw earlier with the House 6 card. And like I was saying before, many of you can be expecting complicated love situations to be simplified and to flow more easily. For example, those of you in situationships may be clarifying your status, and those in toxic relationships will be cutting out what does not serve you. Those in stable relationships could be focusing on your basics, such as intimacy and connection, or you could be reviving your yin-yang lover phase, if you know what I mean. This simplicity card is the number 4. And 4 is all about stability, security, and solid foundations, especially paired with the same stable and dependable and steadfast energy of the King of Pentacles. An important blessing for your love life is this sense of security and commitment and strength. The King of Pentacles is also a provider and nurturer, and he is full of abundance and really knows how to take great care of and really pamper his loved ones. So with this King of Pentacles, the love language of acts of service is coming to mind again, as well as gifts and physical touch. So perhaps you'll be receiving or giving love through some of these love languages within your relationships. Finally, you have the 8 of Wands. This card is passionate fire energy, moving with action and momentum. This could mean that those of you whose love life seems to be currently a little bit stalling will really get a boost of energy, and you could be receiving a lot of love offers. In the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, the image on this card shows 8 wands flying through the air, which reflect the drive and forward momentum of the situation. However, on this card in this particular deck, we have a person who is sending dandelion seeds into flight with a deep breath. There is still flight and motion and action, but the energy from this image feels softer and gentler, which I think actually fits very well with all the messages we have been getting so far. Your love life is blessed with passion and momentum and yin-yang attraction, but it is also balanced and simple and will take flight and flow with ease. As for some timing clues, we have the numbers 8 and 4. So this could be 4 to 8 months, or perhaps April or August. However, for some of you, your blessings may start to manifest as soon as 4 days or 4 weeks, because we do have the 8 of Wands, which indicates speed and things already in motion. Either way, I am looking forward for these wonderful love and romance blessings to come to you soon. Now then, for the next portion of our reading, let's take a look at the blessings meant for you in the realm of abundance and wealth. This can refer to monetary and financial abundance, of course, but it can also be about abundance in opportunities or resources or energy or however else you would like to interpret it. For this part of the reading, I have a few tea leaf cards. First, you have Sunrise with new creative ideas, new ventures, a fresh start. You also have the Funnel with period of frustration, lessons to be learned. And finally, there is the Sun with happiness and well-being. Wow, I like this progression. You've got a little story of evolution with how these cards came out. First off, I want to mention that for those of you who picked this reading, you are definitely blessed with a lot of abundance. There's probably so much tangible and intangible wealth waiting for you. For tangible wealth, it could be things like money, material luxuries, and for intangible wealth, some examples are opportunities and satisfaction and health. Starting with the Sunrise card. This is about the blessing of a new beginning or a new influx of energy. Since it talks about new ideas and ventures and a fresh start, for many of you, this can manifest as new business endeavors or inspiration which will reward you with a lot of financial gain and abundance. You may be starting a new job or even creating a job for yourself, especially for jobs that involve exploring and channeling your creativity. There could be some amazing opportunities waiting for you in this realm. For a few of you who may have been not enjoying your current career or realizing that your existing job is somewhat of a dead end or that it does not fulfill your higher purpose, there could be a wonderful chance for a fresh start for you. With this Sunrise card, the message is to confirm that if you are thinking about going down a new path, which ignites your inspiration and passion, you will be rewarded with abundance for your efforts. Now moving on to the second card, which is the Funnel. There are some interesting messages for you here. First of all, we see that the contents in the funnel are golden, and this represents the overflowing abundance meant to be yours. Maybe this is golden grain or grains of gold, or even the physical embodiment of the sun's golden rays from your sunrise. However, while there is so much of it, this funnel is creating a bottleneck effect, and it's limiting the rate at which this abundance can come to you. The message on this card also speaks of a period of frustration and lessons that must be learned. There are two ways I want to interpret this. For some of you, this could be indicating that there is a blockage that is restricting you and slowing down the speed and intensity of these abundance blessings from manifesting for you. This blockage could be an actual thing or practice that is currently not optimized within your routine, your business, or for more of you, it's likely a mindset that is holding you back. For example, you may be someone who does not innately believe and trust that you are worthy of this abundance, or you may have trouble with receiving blessings and rewards. You may be under the belief that good things should not come easily, so when it actually does come in the form of your blessing, you may be pushing it away or second-guessing. For others of you, the second meaning of this card is along the lines of purposeful slowing in order to fully experience and appreciate your blessings, as well as taking the time to filter and refine so you can really savor and extract the essence. For example, if your blessing is an influx of monetary gain, this funnel could mean you will recognize that there's more to fulfillment than material wealth. And your lesson could involve discovering how to use this money in order to find true contentment. This could be investing your money into your passion or using it to help out others in need. Regardless, in both of these interpretations, we can see that the funnel is filled to the point of heaping, so it is confirmation that you are blessed with a lot of abundance. Literally, there is a funnel that is collecting and drawing in all this abundance to you. The only thing you need to do is release the blockage holding you back, or open your eyes and heart toward what truly makes you feel content and abundant. And finally, you have this beautiful card of the Sun, which is all about happiness and well-being. I really like that this card follows your period of frustration and learning important lessons. At this point, you will experience the full manifestation of your blessings in abundance. And here you will be able to understand and enjoy what being abundant really means to you. Finally, to complete your reading today, I have these last 2 oracle cards to tell us about the blessings in the realm of your own growth and inner shadow work. We have Courage with the message, I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. And also there is Imagination, which says, I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. Together, these 2 cards are saying to have the courage to let your imagination and creativity flow. And to me, this is really just a way of saying to dare to manifest. If you have been struggling with manifestation, perhaps imagining and visualizing could be helpful for you. But most importantly, like what we were mentioning earlier with a funnel and a mindset problem as your blockage, you must have the courage to go toward what you want. Now, of course, personal growth affects all aspects of your life, so you can expect to see positive changes in your love life, your career, your relationships, and all other areas of life. Perhaps some of you watching have been putting off facing some deep-rooted fears, so if this is you and you're waiting for a sign, here it is. This card wants to be your confirmation that you have that inner strength. Others of you may be finding this blessing of courage when you want to make a move to go after something important, such as the love that you want or the job that you have been dreaming of. No matter what it is that you need courage and confidence for, this blessing is on your side. And in face of your challenges, not only will you have this courage, you will also have the imagination and creativity to get through it in ways that you might not even have thought were possible. Imagination is really about opening your eyes and your mind to all the possibilities. If you can imagine it, you can manifest it. This card wants to remind you that if you so choose, there can be no limit on what you can do. There's also a lot of fun and playful energy with this card, so you can look forward to some brightness and liveliness within the realm of your personal growth. Often people associate personal growth with dark nights of the soul and difficult or painful lessons, but it doesn't always have to be shadowy shadow work. In your case, the blessing with this card is personal growth through creativity and fun and imagination, so you can definitely look forward to this. And with that said, those are all the messages I have for you today. Please feel free to claim all the blessings you would like, and remember this is a general reading, so no worries if not every single message was for you. As per usual, I want to remind you that we do have the ability to shape our own destinies and paths. So please feel empowered, because if there is something that you don't like in your reading, trust and know that you have the ability and agency to influence and change it. Please let me know in the comments below if things resonated for you, and please feel free to leave a like and subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.